I wish that was how my reaction video was, but I did not record my reaction while I was getting to Stanford. I was actually on my bed having a mental breakdown, and then I opened it and it was poof, I got into Stanford, and I called everybody and everybody was crying, and it was that. Anyways, this is the long overdue video of how I got it into Stanford University with my Nigerian immigrant self. Yes, I got into Stanford! Yes, I'm literally a sophomore at Stanford now. This is literally a long overdue video, but let us get straight into the video. But before we get into the video, if you're new, welcome to my channel. Hi, my name is Trinite, and I record my lifestyle everyday today type of video on here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notification. But I know why you are here, so I'm just gonna get straight into the video. Let's go. I have the help of my iPad that I've already taken notes on to make sure I hit all the points before I get started. Also, a disclaimer, I actually do not know what got me into Stanford, and this is just the things that I did, and I believe they all worked together to get into Stanford, but I don't know why I got into Stanford. So yeah, first thing first, I would say, I actually did not write this down, but I am a lover of God. I am a Christian, Jesus baby, and I believe he got me into Stanford. So yes, I prayed, and then I got into Stanford. But that's just that. So if, and in addition to everything that I did, I worked hard and he blessed the work of my hands. First off, giving some like background information. I'm a Nigerian immigrant. I moved to New Jersey and I live in Newark. For people that don't know, Newark is a predominantly black neighborhood, so we do not have a lot of opportunities and resources in our school. I went to a charter school, People's Preparatory Charter School, which is now Gateway Academy, I believe. So the school I even graduated from does not exist again, but I graduated from People's Prep, and it's a charter school, very small school. I think we're not even up to 500 in that school. Starting with GPA. My GPA in my school was the highest you could go is 4.33, and I always stayed close to 4.33. So with either I was a full 4.33 or 4.20. Let me actually go find my GPA. I mean my transcript, so I have all the documents. Okay, got my hand on my transcript. I'm gonna pop a picture of it on here, but my cumulative GPA was 4.2172, so basically 4.22, and I was the valedictorian of the school. Ignore the cops noises. Again, this is a very vocalist environment, so the cops be going back and forth. I had mostly A pluses and A. I don't see an A minus on here actually, so it's just a bunch of A pluses and A. I got one B plus in Spanish actually, and I never even knew I had a B. What the heck? Me finding out now, I want to be mad. And I had I had one C plus and C, but both from a college class. And for one was a sociology class in 9th grade. I took a college class 9th grade, which I had a C in, and I had a C plus in pre-calc, but that was the highest in the class. So, and it was a very shitty teacher, not gonna lie. But overall, the scale was 4.33. I had a 4.22. which was the valedictorian score. So GPAs, I had the IGPA. I kept a very high GPA from like 9th grade. Like I came into that school not playing. Like I had a goal and I was gonna get into it. I was gonna get into a top school with scholarship. That was my goal from the scratch. This was not like an unexpected thing. I was working on it from the beginning. So this is me, like this is my trajectory from like 9th grade. Like this is how I live my life. I was like, I'm gonna do this. And even when I was in Nigeria, because I did my kindergarten to GSS 3, which is junior secondary school 3, and I think that equals to 6th grade in America. So I did all of that in Nigeria, and I've always also been like a very like high grade girl. A very first important thing is GPA. Keep your GPA up if you can, and all of that just plays with like turning your assignments on time, going to office hours, getting help and studying. Like, and I feel like high school a lot you could also like get past by not studying, because I barely studied in high school, and now I'm suffering that with it at Stanford where I actually have to study. But I'm a very visual learner. Like I listen, I pay attention in class because that's how it locks into my brain. But if that's not how it works for you, you have to study. And I think a good tip for that is revising after lecture. If you have access to the lecture before lecture, prior to lecture, you want to go over the stuff so you're not totally lost in class. So you want to go over things that are going to happen in lecture. Like if you have a reading overnight, do the readings, because it's going to save you a lot of time and it's going to click in your brain in class. And after class, after like literally like, okay, say because this is high school, so after school you want to go over your notes to like make sure it's refreshing your brain, then close your book and write about it. I did not do this, but I'm telling you, you should do this if you're not like a visual learner like I am. That's a tip that you can do. My CS 106A TA told me, if you can teach it, then you know it. So if you can explain it and teach it to somebody else, then you're a pro at it. So always try to like see if you can teach it. Like that's how much you understand the topic. So GPAs are very important. Like that's staying on track with your class, with your classes, going to office hours, asking for help, and working hard in high school to get your GPA up. Number 2 is college level classes, and I think that's also known as AP classes. My high school did not offer AP classes while I was there, but we had access to college classes, so I would do like dual enrollment. So my freshman year I took sociology. My sophomore year, while COVID was going on, I took like a college summer class in medicine. That was when I thought I was going to be a freaking neurosurgeon. I don't know why I thought that, but I took a summer class as an internship during that time. 11th grade, I took an African American college class in Rutgers, and my senior year, I took pre-calc as a dual enrollment. And in addition to like college level classes, I was in the Voyage Honors Program, which is like in my school, it's like the honors program basically, and we had access to like college professors. We write papers. Like that was how I got like good with my research papers and my writing in general, because I have pretty much good writing. Because my power class at Stanford, my professor is like using my paper for, she wants to use my paper for like our next class. So I think I'm a decent writer, like good enough for a professor to want to use it at Stanford. So I feel like that has been prepped since my high school. So I took a lot of AP classes. If you're a junior, already reach out to providers to take. So if your high school does not like present these opportunities to you, you want to take an initiative to go to your supervisors to ask them if there is a way you could do like, do dual enrollments, take AP classes and stuff like that. Because you want to show that you're like not thinking like average, like you're not average, like you are more than average. Because let's put aside the stuff, you're here in this video because you want to be more than average. So let's just talk like we want to be more than average or anything. And people that get into Ivy Leagues are more than average. So yeah. Number 3, internships. So again, I was grateful to be in a school that like took all of these things seriously. We had something called the Office of College Placement and the OCP, Office of College Placement. Yeah, we call it OCP. And basically they like did everything like college, blah blah blah. So they provided us with internships. So I started doing internships my sophomore year, I believe. Yes, I worked with NJPAC, which is like the biggest performance organization thingy in America. We have it in New Jersey. So I worked in the community section of like NJPAC. I worked with like Greater Newark. I worked like different like non-profit organization, and I did my medical summer internship. I did a lot of internships basically. Let me see if I can pull up my resume during high school. Okay, found my resume. I also popped that up right here. This was like before the end of the year. That's why my GPA is 4.18 over there. But I entered at New Jersey Performance Center, NJPAC. I entered at Seton Hall University Summer Medicine Program, the United Way of Greater Newark. And this was like my internship experiences, because internship experiences also count as work experience. Like, so more of like a corporate job. So like instead of me like getting like, working at Popeyes, working at like, doing like cashier type of jobs during my summer, I would like do like things that have impact on my professionalism type stuff. So you also want your internship to match up with your passion. So like that's like a thing that always go end in end, because that's how you build your story. So when I thought I was into medicine and I wanted to do medicine, I was taking like medicine class internships. I was like there was this program that Rutgers used to do that the med students would come to our high school and then teach a couple of classes. I was doing all of that also, so like kind of like build my experience in medicine. But then I was like, I'm not doing medicine anymore. I think the program that I did, the last internship I did 2020, I was like, I'm not doing internship, like I'm not the medicine, it's not for me, whatever. So internship also like help you learn like professional skills like networking, spreadsheets, writing emails. Because you would like, bro, if you don't practice writing emails, you wouldn't know how to write emails. Emails are not just like, hi, how are you, bye. Emails are crafted. They're like there are themes to email. My high school kind of like did a good job in like professionalism and like the working field, because there are a lot of like my friends in other schools that they wouldn't know how to like format an email or their resume. And this is no shade to them, but literally I thought it was like a skill that everybody was taught at school, but not everybody's taught that. You have to learn how to do that. And if your school is not providing that for you, we have a lot of things online that can help you. TikTok will teach you how to do a lot of stuff. TikTok is literally like my Google website. Like, bro, I'm just like how to do this, how to do that. And TikTok, there are a lot of helps. YouTube, great help. Search engines, use them, so you're good. Extracurricular activities. They want to see that you're involved in things outside of class. A lot of Ivy Leagues and colleges in general just want to see what you've done outside of class. So I think a lot of like colleges, like on an average level, is like, oh, they want to see what you've done outside of class. Ivy Leagues want to see what leadership skills you've retained outside of class. I believe so, because every single clubs that I've been in, it's literally been like I've been the leader of it, or like a important like section of it. So the key again is doing what you love and how it ties, because you also don't want to like stress yourself too much and then like end up breaking. I feel like a lot of people, like we end up having like a senioritis in like as a freshman in college, like literally because we go through like burnout, where it's like I'm tired, I did all of this in high school, now here I am, I don't want to do anything. So as not to prevent that, you want to do things that you love. If you love basketball, play basketball, try to be the captain of the basketball team. If you love cheering, do cheering and do it seriously and be a captain, like, you know, the type of things, like join a coding club, join an acting club, join a singing club, like whatever you like doing, join the honors program, join like a whatever it is, just do it. Also, like I think like a very important thing is like, oh, well, if I'm an introvert and I don't want like, no, I think it's very different. Being an introvert and being a leader are two different things. You don't have to be an extrovert to be a leader. I believe that, like, because all of this is again are corporate behaviors that like you can learn. Like those are things, they're skills that you can learn, like leading and public speaking. You can learn, like, yes, it comes easier to extroverts, but you can learn all this type of things. For me, the extracurriculars that I had, I was a co-founder and assistant chief editor of the journalism club. I was in Voyage honors program and I was the president of that. I was a cheerleader for 3 years, and I was a cheerleader for 4 years and captain for 3 years. I was in a speech and debate team, and speech and debate I did outside of my school because my school did not do speech and debate. I was also I was a founder of the student government and president of the student government of my school. So those are a lot of things that I've counted and listed, and these are things that I kept like present my full 4 years of high school. So for Voyage, I've been in Voyage since my 9th grade, and I was president I want to say my 11th grade year and senior year, but my brain is telling me only senior year. And for student government, I just founded it my senior year, was president, and dipped. So again, we've talked about GPAs, we've talked about college level classes, AP classes, we've talked about internships, we've talked about extracurriculars. So now we want to talk about applications. So now we're getting real. It's getting hot in here, so can it do anything? Okay, I'm supposed to be looking here. I keep looking at the viewfinder because I'm so beautiful. I know if you're new here, you're like, what the hell is she talking about? But I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it business related for what you're here for. Personal statements. Do you guys want me to read my personal statement? I feel like I talked about a trauma, so I don't know if I want to share that with the world. And I don't want to tell you guys, oh, email me and I'll send it to you, because I know you would actually email me, because a couple of people have actually emailed me to send my personal statements. But I would say, I believe there are, I want to say, at least 4 questions that they have you guys choose from, like a prompt that you can write your personal statements towards. You could tailor it around. And the prompt that I chose was, I think it was around name something, like name a time when something happened and a belief that you had changed. I think that was like, I think you're familiar with, like, if you're in the process of applying, you would have said this question. And if you're not, like, they ask a lot of different questions, like they give you a different prompt that you can tailor your answer to. And I chose that one, like, and I wrote about sexism in West Africa, but specifically to me, being a Nigerian, like, I believed in the idea of, well, it was not sexism to me at that point, but I believed in the idea of like what women roles were and what male roles were, until it was like the opposite in my family, and I had like this huge epiphany of how that's not the way it's supposed to be, and I'm not going to be taken down as a woman. So yeah, I wrote like my paper based off of that, like very empowering paper, very advocacy in my personal statements again. And for me, when I wrote my personal statement, I already knew what I wanted to write my personal statement about. So you want to start thinking about it earlier, because you could have different thoughts and like what you want to write your paper about. But when I find out, like, you would know which one it was. And when you know which one it is, stick to it. Like, there are a lot of like people that would advise you and give like inputs. I only let 3 people edit my paper, and those 3 people I cherish so much. Like, they're my mentors, and I gave them different duties. So it was first of all, it was like a grade in my English class, so that was just like, they just want you to like write it, and that's about it. And I already knew what I wanted to write about, so I already wrote it in English, and she just corrected like a bit grammatical error. But my counsel mother, I personally like either look at like grammar and like English rules and stuff like that. Mr. Patton, love him so much, and it was only the one that I gave the opportunity to edit the story for me. I gave him like, how is the story supposed to go, which one is like, how is it enticing, is my hook great, because you also want to give a great hook. You don't want to sound like every other person. You need like a bam. And also, you would think that, oh, what is a bam though? You could be like, I was eating ice cream on the street of New York. and suddenly a bus ran past. Like whatever concept you want to go. I'm a storyteller, so I did it more of like a storytelling ways. And the last person, I think I made them edit based off of like fluency of how it was. Like I got their reaction. Like I didn't let her read the paper at all, and then gave her the paper to read and got a reaction for that, and I was good with that. So I only let like 3 people tops edit my paper. I don't be passing your paper around, because then before you know it, you don't even know what you're writing about anymore. But you get, like, you don't want a lot of people editing your paper, because then you're gonna lose yourself and lose the actual meaning to my paper. Like, my paper means a lot to me. My personal statement means a lot to me, and I know a lot of people also can just be like, okay, it doesn't have to mean much to me. I'm just trying to get into school and I want to tailor it that way. If that's you, this is not the video for you. I don't know how to give you advice based off that. Me, it meant a lot to me, and I wrote it, I turned it in. It worked for me. Yes, it worked for me. Number 6 on the list is supplemental essays. Now, a lot of Ivy Leagues, if not all Ivy Leagues or like top schools, would have supplemental essays. So this is like this is not the personal statement. This is this is your supplementals. Supplementals, they want to know more about you. These people don't know you from Adams. They see a paper in front of them. You are nothing but a paper to them. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just a paper to them. So you want to show off and show out. You want to show your personality. Supplemental essays are where you want to show yourself, and of course, like, still be grammatically correct. You don't want to be too informal, but I feel like you have more flexibility with your supplemental essays. Be your best and authentic self. They want to know you as a person besides the paper. If it isn't highly necessary, don't talk about your GPA. Yes, so that's what I did in my supplementals, because they've seen my resume, they've seen my GPA, they've seen my transcript, they know what my grades are. I don't want to waste time talking more about my grades. I want to talk about more things about me, more like concept about me, not only like my GPA that they've already seen and resume they've already seen. Like, if anything, I would elaborate on programs and things that I wrote in my freaking resume. But GPA, I'm not talking about, because they've already seen my transcripts. That's it. That's it. What else? So supplemental essays, talk about your experiences, more of like what you gain from your extracurriculars. Be fun, but be cautious also. So my supplemental essay for Stanford is absolutely my favorite all-time supplemental essays. I also didn't let anybody edit my supplemental essay for only Stanford. Actually, everybody, like, they edited for like other schools, but I didn't let anybody touch my supplementals for Stanford, and I just turned it in with me being me. They asked what was the most important thing to me. I said a smile, because somebody like on the bus gave me a smile when I was going to my first job. So a smile is very important to me, and that's what I told them. Very fun. And they asked you to like write to your roommate, and it was very, like, you know, it was light-weighted. And I think they also asked if you're supposed to be like, if you could experience like if you could meet an historical person, who would it be? I forgot what I said. I don't know if I'm confusing Howard or Dartmouth with Stanford, but basically, authentic thing is be yourself. Supplemental essays, you don't want to be too grammatically and be using big words. That's not, like, unless you actually speak using big words, then that's you. But you want your authentic self and let them see, because now they're seeing if this is a fun person that can be in the school, like in the school environment. They don't want you to be stoic. Yeah, I think that's what I guess. I was talking about GPA. I think the only time to elaborate on your GPA is when you get a bad grade. So for me, I had to elaborate. Did I think I had to do that for Questbridge. I didn't get accepted through Questbridge, but I think when I was doing Questbridge, they had asked me why I got a C, and I had to explain why I got a C. And there was a good story behind that, because it was like I was taking a college class as a 9th grade, as a 9th grader, coming from, like, you know, like, it's like this is a class that was like higher than my knowledge, and I still got a C in it, which is pretty impressive. Woo! So that's the only time to like talk about your GPA in supplemental essays, unless your GPA was like a moment of epiphany. If it was like a moment where a spark happened, that's when you use your GPA. But don't keep saying, and I have a 4.33, and I have a 4.33, and I worked so much hard that I have a 4.33. They see it, okay? They see it. What else do you have to you? Like, what else do you bring to the table? Lastly, you want to search up prerequisites, the classes that are required for you to get in your major, because that was the mistake that happened with my pre-calc. I needed a pre-calc to get into a couple of my schools. I applied to 13 schools, I believe. So I needed a pre-calc to get into one of those schools, and I had to go take a pre-calc like last freaking minute. So you want to check what prerequisites the school you want to go into. For Stanford, if you're going for anything STEM, I believe you have to have your STEM requirements. So do your research about that. And what else? The mental aspects. So going over the things that you can do physically, again, a summary. Remember, GPA, college classes, AP classes, internships, extracurricular activities, your personal statement, your supplemental essays, and your prerequisites. Gucci? Voila. Lastly, I also applied regular decision. I did not do an early decision or early whatever, because I think one of those are binding, but I just did regular decision and prayed to God. The mental aspect for applying to like Ivy Leagues. Be disciplined. Discipline is the first on anything, and anything in life. You actually have to be like, I still feel like I lack discipline. So I'm still working on my discipline. But you need a good amount of discipline. Like, you cannot, like, because things pile up. So if you're like, I'm not gonna do this assignment, I don't think it's that worth it, it's gonna pile up. That not worth it, not worth it, not worth it is gonna mean something when your cumulative GPA comes. Everything matters. It does. And this is not to like overwhelm you or anything, but if you truly want to get into an Ivy League or like a top school, and I keep saying Ivy League, I know Stanford is not an Ivy League, but Stanford is better than every single Ivy League. I say that with my chest. With my chest. I stand gallant when I say Stanford is the #1. That's my school. Yeah. Okay, back to it. So mental aspect, be disciplined, self-motivated, and it helps if you have like motivations around you, but make sure the motivations are not overwhelming and they're not things that are like stressing you out. So I'm a very self-motivated person. I didn't need my mom. Like, my mom was never like somebody that was like, get A+, get this. It was kind of expected of me to do it. So oh, actually, and she has just like that on said, you're supposed to have good grades, duh. So it's like a thing that like I just had to get. But I was self-motivated, and it helps if you have like family support, if you have friend support that believes in you, just to keep you going. And God helped me a lot. Surround yourself with people of like minds. They don't have to be your friends. When I was in high school, not a lot of people were like as me. Like, a lot of people were just like, they wanted to go to an in-state school, and that was about it. But me, I was taken out the box. Like, even my high school, they were like, you're not gonna get into it, just go to a, like, I'm actually gonna come on here and talk about my high school sometime, but not today. But you want to surround yourself with people. I think that was what I lacked a bit. I didn't have a lot of people that were like as goal driven as like, I want to get into a top school with like full freaking pay type stuff. But those are gonna help you, because then you guys are able to like study together. Like, when you share this information, they're able to share it. Like, you have different source of information basically, and people that like, you know, it's fun working with people. Like, now I'm at Stanford and I do study dates, because it's like I prefer studying with like a lot of people and making it a fun studying than studying by myself. Do you get? So and it's just more distracting when you don't have people of like minds around you, because then you start feeling alone, you start feeling like you're not having fun, you start feeling like you're missing out. But you're not missing out, they're missing out. So surround yourself with people that think like you and work hard like you. So mental aspect, be disciplined, self-motivated, surround yourself with people that are like-minded, acknowledge your wins, whatever win it is. If it's like you got the highest in your class, acknowledge your wins. I think something I did not do a lot, and that's why I felt like I never get like rewarded for anything that I do, and it doesn't make sense, was because I did not celebrate my wins. Celebrate every little wins. Like, you're getting stuff, celebrate it. You won a competition, celebrate it. You have to celebrate yourself and acknowledge that you are progressing, because while you're in high school it doesn't seem like it, and when you're waiting for that decision it doesn't seem like it. But acknowledge your wins, celebrate yourself in those little times, because even if by any chance you did all of this and then you still did not get into whatever school you wanted to get into, you celebrated those wins and you celebrated yourself. Do you get? Yeah. Learn from your loss. When I had a C, I worked hard to make sure I don't have a C in any other classes, because when I wrote my first paper, research paper, it was trash. But I worked hard to make sure my research paper got better, which is why I write good, because I practiced writing. But that was based off of learning from my loss. Cry. Yeah, it's gonna get difficult, it's gonna get intense, and you're gonna think the world is against you, and you're gonna be so frustrated. And if you don't, good for you, I love that for you. But for the ones that do get overwhelmed and you're scared of failure, let yourself cry, let it out. I have not had like 11th grade and senior year, I had the worst mental breakdowns, like just in class sobbing. Yeah. So just let it out, cry, you know. Let it out. Be proud of yourself. You're doing great. The fact that you're even aiming for like top schools, #1 schools, is already such a great achievement. It's like a great thing that you believe yourself in that you can do. So be proud of yourself. And I am so proud of you. Like, if you're sitting now in this video trying to like actually like learn things that would get you into like Stanford and like other high schools, I am so proud of you. You're working hard, and I know you can do it. Like, I know you can get into your top schools. I know you can get into Stanford. And if you do, let me know so I could take you out on a coffee. Yeah, actually, I owe you a Cooper date. Let's make that bet. God, please provide me money so I can take them to Cuba. If you're watching this video before applying to Stanford, or you already applied to Stanford and you're just watching this video and you get into Stanford, I owe you a coffee. I owe you a Cooper date. And like, just literally text me on DM me on Instagram and I'll take you on a Cooper date. I said that with my chest. But that is all. Last recap for the end of like literally for the end of the video. Oh, you're waiting for that? I got into Stanford test optional. Yeah, I didn't take any damn test. Well, I took my test, but I did not submit them. I also don't believe in tests in general, so I don't think it's fair to ever use like that ACT, SAT to judge anybody. And there's like this controversy about people that come into Stanford test optional, they struggle at Stanford. Baby girl, no, I'm doing great at Stanford. I am doing great at Stanford, okay, baby? I am. But I went into school test optional. I applied to all my school steps test optional, and I got into like a good amount of schools, high schools also. So yeah, this is not. But if you are somebody that believe in the SAT and the ACT, go take it. Study. Actually, not study. Learn how to take the test, because I don't think you need to study, but I think that's also studying. Learn how to take those type of tests. There are tips and stuff to learn how to take those tips, but I don't have those tips because I did not use my test because I don't believe in it. So I don't think it's a good way to gauge how good somebody is to get into a school. So I used everything that I believed in, and test was not one of them. So yes, I did get into Stanford, test optional, and these are all the things that I did. I had high GPAs. I did a lot of extracurricular activities and showed leaderships in them. I did a lot of internships from like my early ages in high school. I took a lot of college level classes. I took a lot of honors classes. I searched up my prerequisites. I worked on my personal statements, make sure it spoke with me, make sure I liked it. My supplemental essays, I made sure I was showing my personality and you know, showing the front side of me. And mental aspects, be disciplined, be self-motivated, and if you have family motivation or friends motivation, good for you also. Surround yourself with people that think like you, so you can study with them and you're not gonna feel the fear of missing out. Acknowledge your wins, learn from your loss, cry, let it out. You're doing great. I am so proud of you, and reward yourself and be proud of yourself. Again, let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if you have a question for anything. You can always DM me on Instagram _Trinita_. And what else? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was useful to you. I promise you, if you get into Stanford, I'm getting your Cooper. I will get you the damn Cooper. Love you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you, and see you on my next video.